The Switch 2 is finally here, and while the trailer was only 2 minutes long, there's still so much to talk about. From magnets, to mice, to Mario Kart, here's 100 facts about the Nintendo Switch 2 trailer that you didn't know. It seems the Joy-Con IR camera that was only used in 11 games will be returning for the Nintendo Switch 2. And not only will it be returning, they're doubling down on it, as both the right and left Joy-Con have the sensor. The Switch 2 in total has 30 buttons, 13 on the left Joy-Con, 14 on the right Joy-Con, and 3 on the console itself. The 13 buttons on the left Joy-Con are the 4 D-pad buttons, the screenshot button, the ZL trigger, the L bumper, the SL and SR buttons on the side, the left analog stick, which you can push in as an input, the minus button, the sync button, and the button on the back for the magnets. There's an extra button on the right Joy-Con right underneath the home button, but as of now, we do not know what this button is called or what it does. In the leaks, it was rumored that the button was called the C button because it had a C on the button. That appears to have either been removed or hidden at this time. It looks like the blue light around the right Joy-Con's home button has been removed. This could be because the notification feature used for this light has been moved to a different part of the console. The L and R buttons are massive, wrapping along the top of the Joy-Cons, and are almost 1.5 inches long. It's likely they've expanded this so it's easier to hit when you hold the Joy-Con on its side, which we'll be talking about in just a little bit. Switch 1 games will be able to be played on the Switch 2, except maybe not? This exclaimer screen at the end of the trailer states that some games may not be supported or fully compatible. Nintendo says they will release news about this discrepancy at a later date. The hex code for the new red accent on the right Joy-Con is this, which is slightly different from the original red Joy-Con, which uses this color. The dock only has one cord coming out of it connecting to the TV. I'm assuming they removed the AC adapter for aesthetic reasons for the trailer. The Switch 2 will have a bigger screen and console size than the original Switch. It will also have a new matte texture, ditching the glossy plastic look of the Switch 1. Wow, it's crazy that we have to call it the Switch 1. I'm gonna tear up. It's uncertain if it's still plastic or metal, but from the looks of it, the console looks to have been made of a much higher quality material. Next, we see the bottom of the console, which at first looks pretty unchanged from the Switch 1. However, they've appeared to have added 2 speakers to each side of the charging port. This also means they've removed the speaker from the bottom of the screen where they appeared on the Switch 1. Now to the top of the console, first we see the power button and volume buttons exactly where they were on the Switch 1. However, here it appears they've widened the power button to make it easier to press, and made the volume button a bit smaller to make room for it. Now, to make room for the special port we'll be talking about soon, they moved the vent over to the left, along with a mysterious circle they try and skip over in the trailer. My theory is that this is just an auto brightness sensor that they moved from the bottom of the screen to the top of the console. The top of the Switch now has a USB-C charging port. Now you can play tabletop and charge at the same time. It seems to also have been raised a little from the console, as putting a charging port on a rounded surface isn't a great idea. The headphone jack and game card slot seem unchanged. The game card slot looks a little wider, hinting that this might just be a 3DS cartridge situation, with the little tag indicating that a game is Switch 2 only. The Switch 2's kickstand is similar but different to the OLED. This kickstand will be a U-shaped outline of the bottom half of the console, unlike the OLED, which had the entire back half of the console. It also got that wide adjustable flexibility the OLED model had, just in case you want to play almost horizontally, but not quite. There will also be 2 little rubber stoppers on the bottom of the Switch, making the grip to any surface much more sturdy and reliable. I also assume the micro SD card slot is still behind the kickstand, but for the life of me, I cannot find a visual of it. The Switch 2's Joy-Cons are much bigger than the original Joy-Cons, almost a quarter more height than the original. I'm looking back at my OG Switch, and those Joy-Cons are looking tiny already. The analog sticks appear to have been upgraded with more of an indent and grip compared to the Switch 1's analog sticks. The buttons and triggers also seem way bigger, which is just a huge win for people with big hands. The Joy-Cons now have a nice accent color feature under both the joysticks and the magnetic railing on both sides. The side of the Joy-Con has been radically changed, with a new beefier railing that juts out more to engage with the console and grips, as well as give the player more space for their fingers to hit the trigger buttons. The player light indicators have also been moved to the side of the Joy-Con, letting you know what player you are without having to look at the side of the Joy-Cons. Speaking of magnets, you can see the new Joy-Cons magnetically attached to the new Joy-Con grip in this shot. Speaking of the Joy-Con grip, while it's not explicitly stated in the trailer, with leaks and images backing this up, it appears the Switch Joy-Cons will be able to be used as a mouse. This can be seen here, where in this shot it appears the new Joy-Cons have optical sensors, most commonly found on computer mice. It also looks like both Joy-Cons have this optical sensor, so theoretically you could use two mice, one in each hand. Also, if you're not bought in yet, look at these two Joy-Cons moving around with tails. That's definitely a hint that they are mice. Also, while you can't visually see the bottom of the Joy-Con grip, you can definitely hear them. It seems like there's either a ball bearing or a pad on the bottom, letting the Joy-Cons glide on a smooth surface without much friction. There's also this button at the top of the Joy-Con grip that will help disengage the magnets and remove the Joy-Cons from the grip. Next, the thing y'all have all been waiting for, that beautiful magnetic Joy-Con snap. They nailed that sound effect, and also the implementation here. It really better be that satisfying in real life. But before the snap, we see the inside of the magnetic Joy-Con holding slots, and it appears that they will correspond to the color of that side's Joy-Con. In this case, the blue Joy-Con on the left and the red Joy-Con on the right, just like the Switch one. They also have plus and minus symbols to help you differentiate which Joy-Cons go where, just in case you're colorblind. These colored insides are interesting, as it will be directly built into the sides of each console, unlike the Switch one. This lends to the theory that all Joy-Cons will have a blue and red accent to signify which side of the console they go on. Or maybe it's just a cosmetic for this console, who knows. But on the website, you can see these buttons on the back of the Switch disengage the magnets on the Joy-Cons and allow you to take the Joy-Cons out of the console. Also, this is the logo. If you couldn't tell by this point, the console is called the Nintendo Switch 2. This also is the first Nintendo console to be a direct sequel by name. The dock shows the TV Connect light is still there, along with a beautiful look at the new Switch 2 logo. This is the Switch 2's dock. It's pretty similar to the original dock, however with a little indent at the top. This could be used for a multitude of different purposes, including just a battery indicator like the Switch 1, to the ridiculous like notifications, alerts, and more. The new Switch 2 Joy-Con grip has appeared to have flattened to make room for the new magnetic Joy-Cons, as you can see from this glossy texture right here. However, it isn't too radical of a change, as the Switch 1's grip with the rounded edges is actually set back a similar distance to the Joy-Cons, so I still think it'll be pretty comfortable. Before we take a look at Mario Kart, if you're enjoying the video so far, subscribe. It's free and the big number makes me happy. Next, we got a first look at the first Switch 2 game, Mario Kart 9. Well, we don't know if that's actually the official name, but that's what I'm going with until they tell us otherwise. The course we see here is called Mario Bros. Circuit, and is more than likely the first track in the game. However, I'm not quite sure about that, as there are moving cars and trucks on the track that add quite a bit of difficulty here, so there's a chance it may be in a later cup. The confirmed characters as of now are Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Daisy, Wario, Rosalina, Koopa Troopa, Pauline, Baby Mario, Baby Peach, Waluigi, Baby Luigi, Toadette, King Boo, Birdo, and Diddy Kong. The game will be doubling the amount of racers from 12 to a whopping 24 racers. The models of all of the characters are brand new, and they all seem to be spongier and more expressive, reminiscent of Mario Wonder. Except maybe that expressiveness is actually based on the Mario Bros. Movie. As you can see here, Donkey Kong's new model has been dramatically remade to mimic his character from the movie. Donkey Kong's model also seemingly resembles his original arcade appearance. They also appear to make the big racers like Bowser and DK larger, as you can see them squishing them into their carts here. This seems to have been done to make running into other racers a bigger penalty, as the floatiness of all of these racers has seemed to have gone up. This can be seen here especially when the racers are drifting during a turn. It seems traction in this game is going to be a lot less stable. Speaking of Bowser, they seem to have made him much more game accurate, making his body and head ratio finally normal, compared to his old render in 8 Deluxe. Peach, Daisy, and Rosalina are no longer in their racing suits, and are instead in their classic dresses. The font used for the starting line is the same one they've used since Mario Kart Wii, except here it is curved and higher up. This is to make room for the track's title below. It is uncertain if this is just for Mario Bros. Circuit or a stylistic change they've made for all the tracks in the game. Next, let's take a look at the vehicles. Karts, bikes, and ATVs have all returned. But more interestingly, new vehicle types have also made an appearance. Here you can see Rosalina driving a snowmobile and Daisy on a jet ski. This could lead to kart traction benefits according to the terrain you're driving on, like Rosalina's snowmobile might be more effective on a snow track. This is just a theory, but it was something interesting I wanted to put in. Toad's Kart is a direct callback to the car used on the box art of the Famicom game 3D Hot Rally. Coins are also returning from Mario Kart 8. Yoshi's, the burger joint seen at the end of the track, is, spoiler alert, in the shape of Yoshi's head. The new booster panels have a very pretty gradient, similar to Mario Kart Wii's track texture. The track also appears to be copying the main gimmick of the tour tracks from the Booster Course Pass, with many different paths in one track. You can see this in this shot where the main road goes forward, but you actually turn right here. This is made even more apparent as you can see the dirt road cross directly over the main paved course. It's also pretty obvious that you can explore off-road, as the railing doesn't cover the sides of the track. There's also this random tilted wooden box on the off-road of this track. I could very easily see that becoming a ramp. The track in general is just massive to accommodate all 24 racers. Towards the end of the trailer, you can see a shot showing a glowing gold blob under Yoshi's burger shop. It's too small and far away to see exactly what it is, but it does have eyes and a smile. Whatever it is, it's pretty easy to say that is something new that will be a main selling gimmick of this new game. In the background of the shot, you can see these massive mushrooms, showing yes, this is the Mushroom Kingdom. You can see Nabbit's name and logo in this gray box, potentially hinting at him being a new racer. Morton also has a billboard behind Yoshi's Diner. Could this be hinting at all the Koopalings coming back? You can see the Mario Kart TV van from Mario Kart 8 return. This basically confirms that MKTV will be back, which means you can make and share custom replays. You can see these green 1UP fuel banners down the side of the track. This gives credence to the theory that this little orange consumable could be a fuel can. There's also another pit stop at the start of the track to the left of the starting line called the Fireflower gas station. This random Shine Sprite sign seems to be floating, which is odd because Mario Kart is generally, well, grounded. You can see these Toads, Shy Guys, and Yoshis of all colors on the sidelines. This Yoshi is even wearing a hat. There are Sumo Brothers on the sidelines as well. The main advertisements around the course are for the Mario Motors and Luigi tires, which makes sense, as this is the Mario Bros. Circuit after all. The thing back here says Squid, and had a picture of a blooper. There are green toads on a little pedestal near the finish line of this track. I would love it if on the final lap they waved checkered flags. That'd be such a cool touch. It also appears that these tracks might be able to change the time of day, as in this track you can see the floodlights that would light up the track at night. There will be a Nintendo Switch 2 Direct on April 2nd to offer a closer look at the console, as well as show off more exclusive games. The Nintendo Switch 2 experience will be a pop-up tour all around the world that will let users get a hands-on experience with the new console. The original title for the trailer was an update from Nintendo. Look and trailer weren't capitalized in the new trailer title. Sorry, I'm at 99, I'm running out of facts to say. The Switch 2 will release in 2025, so if you want to be kept up to date with all things Switch 2, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you never have to miss an upload. YouTube only knows to recommend our videos to you if you're subscribed, so make sure you do that. And while you're at it, go check out this even more in-depth Mario Kart 9 analysis we have right here. Alright, take care and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!